All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. Before we get started, just a couple of those normal items to take care of. We will have time for questions at the end of the presentation. You can type those in by clicking that Q&A section in the lower portion of your control panel. We'll be posting a recording of the webinar on our blog. The link for that will be shown at the end. And if you'd like a PDF copy of the presentation, there will be a link to download that on that same post as the recording. If your question does not get answered today, or if you think of any other ones, please email our support inbox, which will be shown at the end as well. All right, so what is on the agenda for today? Another kind of different type topic for us. We're going to talk about why it's important to keep tabs on your health. That's not a new topic, but we're going to talk about some ways that Health Check 360 specifically can help support those goals and your overall health. We'll go over things like accessing your biometric results, tracking your health, why it's important to track your health, participating in challenges, and just how to make the most of your program with some things that you may not know that are out there. I'm not going to be able to cover all the details and programs and things for each individual company. So if you do have questions after we're done, please reach out to that support team. Like I said, we'll have that info up at the end. Okay, so let's jump in. I want to start with your numbers, specifically your biometric screening numbers. I know some of you may not have biometrics with Health Check, so you may not see the numbers when you log into your account, but you can still benefit from knowing any biometrics that you have in your past from your doctor or whomever you get those from, and as you continue to get those done every year. For those of you who do screen with us, as you screen each year, you'll get to see more and more data. Hopefully you've been getting your biometrics done for a long time, even before you join Health Check, but now you know that you'll have at least each year's info with us. You can see your numbers by going under your My Program and Survey and Results if you're on a computer, or by going under My Health on the app. So the value in having things like cholesterol, blood sugar, liver and kidney function numbers run every year is that you can track trends and changes, right? Maybe your bad cholesterol, that LDL, has been in the low risk range for the last few years. Fantastic, right? But you notice that 3 years ago, it was at the lower end of that low risk range. And this year, you're creeping up and you're almost at that moderate risk range level. So while you're still in a good range overall, knowing that you're trending up can be a sign that it might be a good time to make some small changes now to help prevent yourself from getting into that next category. We're all about prevention. If we can pay attention to small trends, we can make small changes to correct things rather than wait for those numbers to jump up into a higher risk range where we're going to need to make big lifestyle changes or even talk about things like medication, right? That's a lot harder to do than making small changes now to correct those small trends. And it goes the other way too, right? You can celebrate the great progress you've made. We know change doesn't happen overnight. So seeing the changes year after year is a great way to measure what those short-term small changes are doing to your numbers long-term. If you see your HDL, that healthy cholesterol that was in a moderate risk range 2 years ago, and this year you worked it up to an ideal risk range, makes you feel good, right? Those are the types of things that help motivate us when we're working to improve our health, seeing that progress. If you download your overall report from the website, there's a ton of great additional information on each of your biometrics and some tips to improve as well. If your company, let's say, has a specific overall score goal, or they have an improvement goal each year to receive maybe an incentive, you'll be able to pinpoint how many points you can get from each of those biometric readings. Let's say you lost a few points on your blood pressure goes a little high, or that cholesterol ratio is a little high. Then you can say, okay, I know that if I work hard and improve those points in those areas, I can get that incentive next year. Focusing on healthy habits that can improve is a place to focus on, right? It's a place to set goals. And this is information that you have that can help you set goals. Now we'll get to how you can track your habits, which is super important to help stay on top of those goals here in a minute. But just one more reminder with your report first. Did you know that you can fax your results to your doctor from the website or the app? This screenshot is from the app, but you can do this on both the website and the app when you go to your results. If you do your screening each year with your doctor and upload your results to us, then your doctor is, of course, aware of your numbers. But if you get your screening done at work, and then you can share your results with your doctor really easily, as long as you have their fax number, and you can maybe even avoid another blood draw or poke there too, right? And just as a reminder, the website to go to your account is myhealthcheck360.com, or you can search for the app, just search My Health Check 360. Even if you just search Health Check 360, it typically comes up. That logo that you want to look for is the check mark down there in the corner. Okay, let's move on to the next way you can use your Health Check 360 resources, and that is setting goals. As a health coach, I think this is super important, right? Obviously. First, where do we set goals on the app and the website? Well, on the website, you just click your username and profile picture, if you have one, at the top right-hand side of the screen. A menu is going to pop up, and then you're just going to click goals, and there you go. On the app, you can click those three little lines on the top left-hand side, which are going to take you to the menu, and then it's got your username and profile picture. Again, click on that. Another menu is going to pop up with goals on it. Again, these pictures specifically are from the app. The picture on the left here shows the different goals that you can set. You can set goals around your weight and calorie intake. When you set a weight loss goal, the screen on the right is going to pop up after you set that goal weight, asking you how quickly you want to lose the weight. You can see it has an estimate of how many weeks it will take this person to lose whatever weight they're looking to lose. Now, again, putting on my health coach hat here, my suggestion is long-term change, right? So easy or medium is what I would always suggest as far as going slow progress over quick short-term stuff, right? That you're not going to be able to keep up long-term. But depending on how much weight you have to lose, what you have going on, you might be able to do the kind of hard or the hardest for some time. You can also start out with the easier medium and then let your body get used to less calories before you move it to the harder as well. It's all an individual decision, and everybody's body and mind are going to react differently to a change in nutrition, right? So you have to know yourself and you have to adapt as we go on. So just adding a disclaimer here before we move on, we always want to check with your doctor before any major changes, or decisions really for that matter, with nutrition and activity, especially if you have past health concerns or health conditions. When it comes to weight loss and how many calories any app is going to tell you to eat based on your goals and how much exercise you do, it's all an estimate, right? We don't know you, so it estimates based on the information that you give us. But you need to take that common sense approach to any goals that you set, and you're going to need to tweak as you go along as needed, okay? Don't think that you have to follow something if it's not working, or if it's if it's just not realistic to do, okay? You can set activity goals based on minutes of activity or steps or both. The general recommendation is 30 minutes of activity or 10,000 steps per day. It's kind of the standard, but you don't have to do that right off the bat, right? If you don't do any activity right now, set that goal for 10 minutes and work your way up from there. Same with the steps. If you only get 2,000 steps per day right now, 10,000 steps is not going to be something that you're going to want to do right away. You can risk injury, burnout, those types of things. So shoot for 2,500, 3,000 to begin with and work up from there. Progress over perfection, as we always like to say. But having these goals set, no matter what they are, no matter how big they are or small they are, it helps keep them in the forefront of your mind and will help keep you accountable with your progress. That's the goal of goals. There's also a nicotine goal section. If you want, you can set a quit date and help keep your eyes on the prize there. So let me go back to the goal of goals, if you will. Let's take a tiny side trip here. Why should we set goals? You know you should be healthy, right? Why is it helpful to set goals? Well, your goals give your dream a direction. right? I don't think I made that up. Pretty sure I heard that somewhere, but it's really good, right? We all have thoughts of what we want our life to look like. But how do we get from where we are now to where we want to be? We have to give ourselves direction, and goals are a great way to do that. So to get the most out of our goals, you may be familiar with SMART goals. This is a great way to be very intentional with your goals so they can work for you. The S stands for specific. This letter pretty much encompasses all the other letters. You can't be vague like, I'm going to go to the gym and expect that to be successful and to stick with it, right? Specific means putting as much detail as you can. So it would go something like, all right, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go 3 days per week when I get off work, and I'm going to do 10 minutes on the treadmill at a 2 incline. And then I'm going to do that weight circuit I found online on Pinterest, whatever it may be. Specific, right? It gives us an action. It gives us steps to take. It helps guide us when we're setting those goals. Measurable. This is how we track our progress, right? Tracking. And the goal I just mentioned, it's that 3 times per week, the 10 minutes on the treadmill, a 2 incline in the weight circuit, right? As you progress, you change this part of the goal. You could say, okay, I got my 10 minutes on the treadmill. Next week, I'm going to try to go for 15 minutes, or I'm going to do the treadmill at an incline of a 3. You need a way to keep tracking and then increasing that goal to keep you progressing towards that long-term goal of weight loss or whatever it may be, right? We need those different areas to keep our mind on it, and having measurable progress can help with motivation too. Some people do different things for the A, so I'm going to include both of them. The first one is attainable. Some people use achievable as well, and they're the same, right? That just means to be smart with your SMART goals. Don't say, I'm going to go to the gym for an hour every day if that's not realistic for you to achieve. Small, realistic steps is the very best way to reach your goals and maintain them long term. And if you start small and attainable, you can see that early success that can help motivate you as you increase and progress too, right? You can always increase your goal later. So start off with an attainable goal and work from there. Some people use action-based as the A as well, which just simply means that goal includes a specific action, which it should, right? That's the go to the gym, do the treadmill, do the circuit. If your goal is, I want to lose weight, you have nothing to take action on, right? So no step to actually take to help reach that goal. There are a couple different uses for R as well. First one is realistic, which is the same in my mind as attainable and achievable, right? Just be realistic with what you're trying to do. Know that it takes time to create habits so you don't set yourself up for failure. The other R is something that people use is relevant, which I really like. Make sure your goal is relevant to your life right now. How does your goal line up with your current life and your long-term goals? Are you setting a goal that would have made sense 10 years ago, but maybe not now? Our life changes, right? And typically our goals change as well. So we need to adapt as we go. If this SMART goal isn't getting you to that ultimate goal, you may want to rethink what that next step should be. And then we've got time-based, setting yourself a time frame to achieve goals. Research shows is really important and helpful because it keeps those goals front and center in your mind because you've got that deadline, right? With our example goal, the time is simply the days you will go and how long you'll go for. The timeline is each week. So for this goal, that timeline, okay, each week, this is my goal. You can also set a goal to say increase your running time, but with the date as a deadline to increase. Say, I'm going to be running on the treadmill for 25 minutes at a time by December 1st. This is a longer term goal, which forces you to set more short-term goals to get there. But again, it's time-based, so it keeps it in the forefront. You're going to want to gradually increase that time so that you can make the 25 minutes by that deadline, right? So you'll be more mindful. You're going to work harder. You're going to just get more in there by that date. If you simply said, I'm going to be running on the 25 minutes on the treadmill by whenever, that whenever might be December 1st, but it could also be next June, or it could be never, because you just never increased your time because you never reasoned to it. It wasn't setting your goal. You were happy with what you were doing because you were doing activity, which is great, right? But if we want to progress, we have to keep being mindful of it. Now, you need to be careful of the time based in your goal, just to make sure, again, make sure it's realistic to achieve, but it can be extremely valuable in progressing. Right? All right, I added a bonus letter in a recent webinar I did. So this is just me being a smarty pants, if you will. I created it because setting SMART goals is fantastic, and you can be as specific and detailed as you want. But if you don't know why you want to achieve these goals, what your motivation is, it's going to be hard sometimes to keep that motivation up, right? If you don't remember why you're doing it. So take some time and think about why you want to be healthier or happier. There are a million reasons, right? All of them are good if they mean something to you. Your health, to look good, to feel good, to save money by not being on medication, to see your grandkids grow up, to climb that mountain, to hike that trail, so on and so forth. In fact, I think someone said that maybe our chat is disabled, but hopefully it's working. But you can put in the Q&A box as well. I want to hear your reasons. Who or what is your reason to make a change in your life so that you're no longer around, that you're around longer, or that you can do more with the life you have? And on that same note, if you want to share your SMART goals, do that too. Oh, the chat is disabled. I apologize. I'm not sure why that's happening. Well, use the Q&A box. Shoot me a message of what your goal is and why you want to do that goal, if you can. I was wondering where the chat went, because usually you guys are chatting it up on here. So I apologize. I'm not sure where the settings are. All right, the why. So I can travel easier and enjoy it more, right? Yeah, if you don't feel great when you're traveling, it's not going to be fun, right? Goal is to meditate every day. There we go. That's specific. You can even get more specific on that too. What time every day would be the best opportunity for you? How long do you think you want to go for? Those types of things. Overall, the why, improving health. There you go. It can be as simple as that. Why do I want to do this? To improve my health. If there's anything more specific that you can get in there, that's great. But a why is a why. Goal is to lose weight, be healthier, and have more energy for my son. There you go. You got lots of good whys in there. Perfect. For my family, goal is to lose 10 pounds so that I'm not so sluggish. There's your why and there's your goal. That 10 pounds, let's figure out a couple small steps. Set a SMART goal today on how you can start to progress. Maybe you're already starting. The person who said that, that's fantastic. But keep progressing if you want to get that 10 pounds off, right? Be able to see any grandchildren I may have and just live a more healthier life. There you go. Those are going to be the big ones, right? But there's a reason those are the big ones. We want to be around for the people that we love and any future people that might come about. Want to improve my health so I can move quicker and have spunk in my step. I love it. You've recently been very sick. Well, I hope that you're feeling well or feeling better, and hopefully you can set some goals to continue to make yourself feel better. Why is to make it easier to live my daily life, right? Especially as we get older. I know some of you aren't close to that timeline yet where you have to think about maybe not being able to physically do some things, but some of us are getting closer to that, right? We want to be able to live our daily lives as long as possible without the support. I mean, we don't mind support, right? But we just want to be able to do things that we can do. Setting small goals now, making changes now will get you to be able to do things later in life, right? Strength training with hand weights for 5 minutes in the AM. Perfect. And because you want to keep your muscle as you age. Again, same thing. Doing those small things now, setting those goals, getting in a good habit is going to help get you to that long-term goal. All right. I am going to, sorry, I got to share this one before I was going to move on because we're running out of time, but your cute husband is your why, so you can enjoy retirement together. That might be the cutest thing I've seen all day too. All right, I'm going to share more of these at the end because again, the darn chat isn't working, but I'm going to continue just so we've got some more time. But love the goals, keep those in mind. Those are the biggest thing, get that why. All right, so we've set goals, we have our whys. Now, the next resource that you can use is tracking. If you already use and love any tracking app that you've got or device or journal, whatever it is, that's fantastic. Keep tracking, use that info to set goals, monitor your progress. You can sync most apps to ours under that same menu that you use to set goals. So if you want to do that for challenge purposes, I'll talk about those. Absolutely, you can. Or if you don't have an app that you use now, give ours a try. Free to try. You can track food, water, exercise, sleep. We have a journal that you can use for stress management, or that's what I suggest using it for. Gratitude journaling, or even just getting negative thoughts out sometimes. It's important to do. You can log your blood pressure, your heart rate, and cholesterol levels in the heart section. You can log your glucose or A1C measurements in the glucose section. You can also click on whether you're fasting or not in that glucose measurement. So just little details as well, which is nice. You can track your nicotine use in that section. Another cool feature on the app for blood pressure, heart rate, and glucose, I believe it is, if you have a device, let's say you have diabetes now, if you have a device for your blood sugar, that glucose, that you already check it, you can click, there's this little box right here in the right picture. There's a little box that looks like a heart rate monitor, right? You can click that, and then you select the device that you use. We have the most common ones on there. Then you can simply take a picture of that reading and scan it, and it inputs the numbers. We also, down at the bottom here for your nutrition, we have a barcode scanner on the app for food entries. So on the right side of that search box, you see that little barcode. Click on that, camera's going to pop up, scan the barcode, it's going to input stuff. You might have to tweak the amount, things like that. But nice, easy thing to do there. You can also save your favorite foods in the middle, or you can make a custom food if you have a homemade casserole or something that you know the info for. You can put those in there as well. So let's ask the same question we did for goals. Why do we want to track? Why is tracking your habits in all of these areas helpful? Well, if you watched any of our other webinars, you probably have some idea, but tracking helps give you direction, same as goals, right? Specifically, if your goal is to lose weight, you've got that SMART goal. Where do you start sometimes? How do you even set a goal? It's hard to know, right? The most important way to get started is to know where you are now. So if you track your nutrition and exercise, you can say, okay, what are my normal habits now? And then you can find areas that maybe aren't quite so up to par yet to help get you started with those goals. Let's say you're eating a ton of sugar. You can craft that first SMART goal around that. If you want to improve your step count, but again, like I said, if you don't know how many steps you're at, it's going to be hard to set that realistic goal, right? Then once you set a good goal based on where you are now, then tracking becomes a source of feedback for you. We can all use this data to see how we're progressing and tweak our goals and actions as needed to continue that progress towards our goals. I'm not going to dive into specific actions you can take today as we're more focused on the overall resources, but we have a lot of great webinars and blog posts to help give you some ideas on different ways to improve your health. So check those out, and we'll be doing those for the rest of the year as far as webinars. And I'll touch on the blog here again in a few minutes, is even though most of you are probably aware of it since you probably signed up for the webinar on the blog, it's got a lot of good helpful information. But before I touch on that, I want to touch on challenges. So I hope most of you have seen your company offer a challenge for you to participate in throughout the year. So basically, it's what it sounds like, right? You have a specific number of weeks, you have a specific goal each week, whether it be steps, minutes of activity, sleep, hydration, those types of things. And it can help keep you accountable. So similar to signing up for like a 5K, for example, or some sort of event, having something like a challenge helps keep your mind focused on your health and can help with motivation. So the next time you see one offered, sign up, give it a shot. You don't have to be a marathon runner or have perfect nutrition to do a challenge. It's all about working to improve yourself. And sometimes having a little competition can help sometimes. Now, some of you may not know, but you can also do your own challenge too. If you go into the challenges on the website or the app, you'll see where you can create your own. So you can run challenges with coworkers without even having to wait for a company-wide one. Again, it's all about what works for you when it comes to helping keep you motivated and accountable. If you think something like this would be great, then take advantage of it. Okay, a few other resources here you can take advantage of as we close up and we get to questions. Lifestyle rewards is something that many of you have. Some of you may not, but many of you have through your company. Basically, getting points for doing different activities, for tracking your health, for watching this webinar. for completing challenges are a great way to get benefits or incentives while improving your health, right? That external motivation sometimes helps get us started. If your company does lifestyle rewards programs, you'll see the option on the app or the site to submit for those, and then you can see the progress you've made throughout the year. Benefits Wallet is another great resource that some of you may have. Basically, it's just a one-stop shop for links to other benefits like your company's employee assistance program or EAP, retirement plans, other health insurance information, things like that. So just having contact information for some of these other benefits outside Health Check 360 can just be helpful with navigating different things that your employee offers for you. And of course, we have the blog, which I mentioned already and hope you're familiar with. This picture actually shows on the app linked to our blog post. It includes articles as well as the webinars we've done. Coaching Pathways right now is on the website only, but it's where you can find webinars related to specific health related topics. So there's a drop down menu that you can look on there. But again, blog in general has some really good information on there. And then of course, we're on social media as well, right? We have posts on tips, tricks, links to our blog posts, or just a positive thought for the day. So if you want something positive on your news feed or whatever social media you have, look us up. All right, just a reminder, you have so many tools at your disposal when it comes to supporting you and improving your health. And that's not just with Health Check 360, right? There is support in so many places with other people, with online, if you know where to look. But just know that we want to do our part too, if we can. So utilize our services, utilize our resources. It's all there for you to use to help live your best life. And we really want you to use it, okay? I also want to give you a great resource for any questions you may have when you're navigating our app, our website, or our blog, because I am not an expert, certainly. We have way smarter people on the team than me. And we have actually a website called The Knowledge Base, which is the site here that you can see. It has articles on how to download the app, how to set goals, different troubleshooting things, depending on if you're trying to sync a device, different things like that. Pretty much anything you need help with, it's going to give you some basic answers to those frequently asked questions. And then if you don't find the answer there, you can always give our support team a call or shoot us an email and we're going to help you out. So this is our general support line. We have a health coach one that I'll add here in a minute, but for general questions on the app, on the website, support at healthcheck360.com or give our general line a call. Our team is great and we want to help you out. All right. Before I jump into questions, just the upcoming webinars. Next month, back to kind of a normal topic, beat the bug. We're getting closer to colder weather for those that are up in the northern part of the US here. So, or in Canada, I know I've got some Canadian listeners too. So we're going to talk about working to help the immune system as we get into those fun times with sicknesses and illnesses. And it's just good for all the time, right? We want to boost our immune system. It's never a bad idea. And then October, we're going to just talk about some myths out there, that people follow and what may or may not be true according to research, all that good stuff. So we'll cover some of those things as well. And then if you do, speaking of lifestyle rewards, if your company does offer lifestyle rewards for watching the webinars and they would like you to answer questions, some just will give you the points, some they want you to put in the answers. So either way, here are the answers, and those will be on our blog post too. So if you don't have a chance to write them down or screenshot here, go ahead and download them off the blog post when we put them up in the next few hours. And then here's our contact information again. Again, social media, we're on all that good stuff. The blog, that's where you'll have all those things that we just talked about, and you can watch the past webinars or sign up for future webinars. And then again, contact us. Same general line to set up a coaching call. But if you have a health-related question, instead of emailing that support at healthcheck360.com, you can email the health coach team directly at healthcoach@healthcheck360.com. So a little bit different there. If you accidentally email the other one, we'll forward it on. We've got a great team. We work together. So Reach out with anything. Again, I know this webinar is geared towards the resources you have. So just remember that we're here to support you in any way that we can, and we hope you reach out.